song about the world and the way I see it through my eyes, so be it. Yeah, check it. Homeless fools on the ground and some people be too ignorant to acknowledge them. What is this? What if this was your life and you had to go through it daily? Maybe some don't give a fuck and are most likely drugged up, but what about the ones who really need that buck? Holding out that cup hella shaking and shit, probably feeling hella degraded and shit. Which brings me to Exhibit B, 1999, Columbine High, 2 idiots shooting up the school for no reason why. And I try to make sense, holding nothing in contempt, continue with the contempt for every breath of oxygen. Genetic disorders, confidential folders, and government ordered cover-ups. Muster but what thought next? This planet be twisted like noodles up in some chopsticks. I state the obvious, so get off this. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. One time I used to try to holler at this little Asian greasy. She seemed cool as fuck, but along the grapevine I heard she was hella easy, sleazy. And as a matter of fact, she had an STDC. She used to try to play it off like her shit was top notch. Used to only shop in places like Guess who would clown me for going to Ross. Money makes the world go round. The more you got, the faster you spin. Just like when you want a tire swing and you tuck your arms in. Anthrax, September 11, 2 airplane attacks, and then the Twin Towers collapse. What the fuck's that? HIV, overpopulation, racial discrimination, hella smog up in the air. It be getting sloppy like Double Dare. Ain't nothing fair, there's always 2 sides to a story, twisted up like a DNA strand. Now kids be fucking up at an early age. Shit, I remember when I was in 8th grade, I wasn't smoking weed every day. Hate crimes, KKK, child molesters, and kidnappers. Everyone around town claims to be a rapper. After the 2 deceased, the lyrical matrix began to leak. Wasn't being contained, and if I could take your brain and show you my past 20 years, 2 months, and a week, maybe you'd realize why I seem to be me. It's easy. First you take all the days since my birth and all the shit I've been through, then you result in something completely different than you. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. It's a small world but such a large amount of space. Hella shit's going down right now throughout the night and day. From the San Francisco Bay to Moscow, all the way through Tokyo, Amsterdam and Mozambique, crowded cities and streets. People puffing weed on a weekly streak, thinking you're a winner but somebody's always got you beat. Sweatshops got the Nikes on your feet, females hoeing it, males hoeing it. Diseases spreading like wildfire, you knowin' it. Holes in the ozone, bet your homeboy got that homegrown. Right now somebody's probably getting shot. All this while a little girl catches her first case of chicken pox. Cops out patrolling the block to serve and protect, holding you by the neck. New scientific information being discovered. Another person giving birth, take it for what it's worth, cause inflation could occur at any place. It's the human race, run at your hardest but maintain a steady pace. This is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. As the earth completes its rotation around the sun 365 days a year, there's a lot of bloodshed and a lot of shed tears. Non-stop 24/7, this planet's popping. Feel gifted to be walking through it amidst the negatives and positives. Politicians in their offices, gunmen holding hostages, Hollywood and holy wars, barbecues with folks, hopefully food with females. People's courting and on yard duties, giving out work details. They all up in the cycle of karma, concentrated like fruit from an agricultural farmer. We form in the future. 50-cent payphone calls since every family got a cellular. Are you ready or not like the Fugees? Only a few can see usually. Old school collecting rubies, trying to complete the Triforce. Legend of Zelda. Rolling weed up in a zigzag, a swish or not a Vega. At the moment people are driving on the Golden Gate. Apes are made in Africa. Eskimos probably up in the igloos in Alaska. When it's hectic it's hard to breathe like asthma, but I run through the equation like algebra. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead. And this is what I see through the eyes up in my head. Things are falling apart, realize before you're dead.